Treysen Eaglestaff, a name that may sound unfamiliar to many in the national college basketball scene, proved last Friday night that his talent no longer allows him to remain in the shadows. With a blistering 51-point performance, a Summit League record, and the highest individual score in a Division I game this season, the young North Dakota guard put his team in the spotlight as he led the Fighting Hawks to a decisive 85-69 victory over South Dakota State in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament. And while the triumph guaranteed the Hawks a spot in the semifinals against St. Thomas, Minnesota, another chapter began to be written. The growing interest of scouts and traditional programs in Eaglestaff's explosive potential. In the world of college basketball, where stars emerge almost daily and stories are rewritten in short intervals, it is impossible to ignore a night like Eaglestaff's. Not only did he surpass the previous conference record, which had been held by Geno Crandall since 2017, but he also joined a select group of Division I players with multiple 40-point games in a single season, a feat few can match at this level of competition. His numbers are even more impressive when viewed in context. 15 made field goals on 28 attempts, including 8 of 18 on three-pointers and 13 of 17 from the free throw line. His performance was as consistent as it was spectacular, especially considering that half of his points came in the second half, when the weight of the game was on his shoulders. But what does this mean for the future? For Kentucky basketball coach Mark Pope, it may be time to pay special attention to this young phenom. While the Wildcats program has built its reputation on attracting some of the biggest names in college basketball, there's always been room for unexpected prospects, athletes who fly under the radar until their skills speak for themselves. Eaglestaff seems to be just that kind of player. His ability to take on offensive responsibilities in critical moments, combined with his efficiency on a variety of shooting styles, makes him an intriguing prospect for any team looking to revamp its roster or add immediate depth. Eaglestaff's presence on Kentucky's radar would come as a surprise to many, given that the program's tradition has often revolved around five-star recruits and AAU hotshots. However, this gamble would be less risky than it might seem at first glance. Over the years, Pope has demonstrated a remarkable acumen for identifying underrated talent and molding them into key players within the Wildcat system. Additionally, the addition of a player like Eaglestaff could bring new dynamism to Kentucky's offense, especially on a team that has historically valued versatility and adaptability in its players. There's something magical about uncovering hidden gems like Eaglestaff. Not only has he broken recent records, but he's also rubbed shoulders with legends like Phil Jackson, whose legacy spans generations in the sport. This suggests that Eaglestaff possesses a rare set of qualities: a competitive instinct, a killer mentality, and the technical ability to thrive against high-caliber opponents. These are the traits that make a player take the leap to the next level. And that's where an experienced coach like Mark Pope comes in. Under his guidance, Eaglestaff could further refine them, transforming him into a dominant force in college basketball and, who knows, paving the way for a professional career. Of course, there are challenges to overcome in this potential transition. Adapting to the fast, physical style of basketball in the southeastern United States, where Kentucky competes in the SEC, won't be easy. In addition, Eaglestaff will need to prove that his historic performance was not a one-off, but rather a reflection of his consistency and dedication to the sport. However, these obstacles seem small when compared to the potential he has demonstrated. And if there's anyone who can maximize that talent, it's Mark Pope, whose philosophy focuses precisely on the holistic development of the athlete. Perhaps soon we will see his name associated with Kentucky basketball, writing a new chapter in the Wildcats' rich history. How about that? A longtime acquaintance of the Cats football team, he's already going to impress on his new team. Find out why now. The news of Brandon Eckles' arrival at the Pittsburgh Steelers comes as a breath of fresh air for fans who are looking forward to a solid rebuild in a defense that, despite being traditionally respected, has faced moments of fluctuation in recent years. The former Kentucky Wildcats player not only brings with him the mark of someone who was molded in the disciplined hands of the Cats, but also a contagious energy that seems to be able to transcend the four lines of the field so much, so that he is already working as an informal recruiter to attract Aaron Rodgers, the most coveted quarterback of the NFL offseason, to Pittsburgh. Brandon Eckles has a trajectory that mixes overcoming and versatility. He began his journey in American football as a quarterback in high school, but it was as a cornerback that he found his place in the college scene. His time at Kentucky was marked by consistent numbers: 108 tackles and 11 passes deflected in just 2 seasons. His ability to read the game and his ability to intercept critical passes caught the attention of the New York Jets, who selected him in the 6th round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Eckles quickly proved that he deserved more than just a chance. He converted 2 interceptions into touchdowns, including one against none other than Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. After the game, Brady even signed the football used in the play, a gesture that symbolizes the mutual respect between athletes of different generations. But what makes Eckles special goes beyond his statistics. It is his team mentality, his willingness to constantly learn and improve. During his brief tenure with the Jets, he demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to adversity, something that will surely help him thrive under Mike Tomlin, a coach known for deeply valuing culture and work ethic within the locker room. It is no wonder that Tomlin has a fondness for players from Kentucky. The connection with Mark Stoops, whose program has established itself as a factory of resilient and well-prepared NFL talent, seems like a perfect match for Pittsburgh's philosophy. And now, with Aaron Rodgers possibly joining the Steelers, Eckles emerges as an unexpected link in that equation. During their brief time with the Jets, he and Rodgers develop a relationship of mutual respect, something that was evident in the cornerback's words when talking about the quarterback. In practice, he started trying to get at me, but it was for my own good, Eckles said, highlighting how Rodgers' presence helped him grow as a player. That personal connection now turns into a unique opportunity for the Steelers, who see Rodgers as the final piece to recapture the glory lost since the days of Ben Roethlisberger. It's impossible not to see the poetic irony in all this. Just as happens in high school recruiting, when a promising player commits to a school and immediately begins attracting other talent, Eckles seems to be repeating that cycle at the professional level. Not only has he signed with Pittsburgh, but he's also using his influence to pave the way for Rodgers, a move that could transform the franchise into an instant Super Bowl contender. What's more, Eckles' signing reinforces an interesting trend: the revitalization of the Pittsburgh-Kentucky partnership. After a few seasons without a Wildcats representative on the roster, the cornerback's arrival signals a return to the pattern that has always worked so well for the Steelers. Players molded by Stoops have a reputation for uncompromising on the field and an impeccable work ethic off it, traits that align perfectly with the franchise's storied identity. While the financial details of the 2-year deal remain under wraps, one thing is certain: Brandon Eckles isn't coming to Pittsburgh just to fill a position on the depth chart. He's there to make a difference, whether it's with his pinpoint interceptions, his quiet leadership, or even as an informal ambassador for the team in search of big-time additions. And if Aaron Rodgers does decide to don the black and yellow, much of the credit should go to Eckles, who, even before officially stepping onto the field, has already shown that he understands the essence of what it means to be a Steeler. And while fans anxiously await to see if Rodgers will follow the path laid out by Eckles, one thing is certain: the Steelers' future looks brighter with the help of the guys from Kentucky. Let us know what you think.